So I figured I'd try my hand at trying to solve this thing. So again, it has the shape of like a UFO puzzle, also called like a cheese puzzle because it looks like slices of cheese, and also almost like a Pyraminx crystal, the way these wedge shapes are. So how would I go about solving this? Well, I can see that it bisects in half like this, and you can really move at multiple planes. So I can see that positioning itself is going to be used, but I might have to do something like algorithms. Well, let me see. Plus, I don't know what the overall color scheme of this is going to be, so I'm going to have to surmise that as well. So let's see what we can do. I guess we'll start off with this green and red, and I've got white here. So maybe we can match up these green and reds together. Maybe if I put this with this red with this over here. So let's move this over here. I can turn it around in this plane, like so, and then I'll move it back. Okay, this has a kind of a symmetry to it actually. I've got these two reds together, these two greens together. What's interesting is that I can't quite match this over here, so it doesn't match completely, but maybe it's not supposed to. So let's find some more green and reds. Now, one thing that also stands out is the quasi-orbits of this puzzle. In other words, this can't occupy this space. I think it can only occupy every other space like this. So that gives me something of a... And the reason why I say that is because if I look at this as being in the middle and I turn it, this has now occupied where this space was. So it can do that, and it can occupy this space here by coming across here. And that's all it can do. So there is some limitations in the scramble. So this does belong next to here, and maybe it's just rotated wrong. It's red and green. So let's move it out here. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees, or 180 degrees rather than put it back. Okay, you know, sometimes the most simple of puzzles seems to be the hardest. But in any case, I see that there's like a line forming here and a line forming here. So maybe that's how this is. Any other greens? Well, here's greens, but these are greens and whites. And I can see this probably correlates with this. So let's move it away. I'm going to rotate this by 180 degrees, and I'm going to move it back. Okay, so some kind of a color scheme I think is starting to form. I've got these reds over here, and I've got these greens over here, and I see whites that are emerging across here. So this obviously comes across here. Okay, so maybe it's not so hard. So this is across here. Now what belongs where? I see blue, red, a green stripe, and a white stripe. So this looks good over here, but I've kind of reached an impasse because I can't move these in without destroying these guys here. So how am I going to finagle these guys? I think I have an idea of what the color scheme is supposed to be like. I see stripes of colors across here. But, well, I've surmised that pieces are kind of skip. So whatever's supposed to be here is either going to be this piece, or it's going to be this piece, or it's going to be this piece. So this is blue and red, it's this piece. So this has to make it over to here. And I guess this is where it's supposed to be. So let's see, how can I do this? How can I do this? Well, I can try to borrow some algorithms or some techniques. I know that I can try to 3-cycle things. If I just do like a down, down, up, up. For instance, this blue, this red and blue can go down over here with this piece, and this can go down with this piece as well. So I could do a down, down, up, up. And that did a nice job of rotating these. This one to here, this one to here, and this one to here. So maybe I can use that down, down, up, up aspect of it. Let's get this back. Down, down, up, up. The only problem is that dissects into these areas that I've already solved. Well, let's see. So this is how I approach puzzles, especially ones that I haven't had a chance to work with because they're scrambled. If I were to go, if I start here and I do down, down, up, up. That's the first part of a commutator. The second part of a commutator is to do some kind of a middle move. So this, and this are cycling. These we don't really care about, so if I make a move like this, then what I've done is I've taken this piece and I'm going to substitute with this, so that when I finish with a down, down, up, up, then it might make all of these guys switch. So I'm going to move this up, putting this into this spot, and I did the down, down, up, up starting on the right, so now I'm going to do the left and finish with a down, down, up, up, and I'll move this back. Okay, so what indeed did that do? Well, it appears that this red and green that was here is now here. Well, this blue and red is now here. So this went to here, and I lay odds this went to here, which I think it did, and this went to here. So basically these guys three cycled, which is useful because now this is in when it wasn't in before, but of course this was taken out. So I didn't really change the overall, I didn't get myself closer to a solved state, but I know how to cycle these guys. Okay, now that I've done that, maybe I can coordinate something here. So let's think this through. This is where it needs to be, and the one that belongs here, that's over here. Now I notice that when I turn this piece stays stationary. Boom, stays stationary. These two pieces can be swapped. So here's the thing, here's what I'm thinking. If I do a 3 cycle with these 3 that I just did, and I have 1 in the middle and 2 at the end, I can swap, and I would appear to swap 2 pieces because this will stay the same, right? So if I put this to here, and this to here, and I have 2 that are opposite, then 1 will stay the same if I go like this, and it will appear that 2 swapped. So let me see if I can make that make more sense. Let me see how I can surmise this. I want to get this. This piece has to be here, and this piece has to be here. So these 2 pieces have to be opposite each other, and this has to be in the middle. So if I move this to here, and I go this to here, and this to here, these 2 pieces will be opposite, and this will be in the middle. Even if they're in the wrong place. This will be in the middle, this will be on the wrong end, and this will slide up to the wrong end, but they'll be within 180 degrees of where they need to be, and this will be in the middle. Which means, based on the parity of this puzzle, this will have no choice but to be solved. So if I do that algorithm, and I hold it here, this will go here, this will go here, where it's supposed to be actually. This will go here 180 degrees off from where it's supposed to be, and this will go here 180 degrees off, and I can just flip it, and these 2 will have no choice but to be solved. Ha! Let's see if that's going to work. So I'll start off holding it up here with this on the right side. I'm going to go down, down, up, up. Okay, so now I'm going to swap these 2 like so, and I'm going to reverse it the other way and go down, down, up, up, these 2, and now reverse it again. So let's see what we've got, and what we have is this guy is 180 degrees from where it needs to be, and this is 180 degrees where it needs to be. How do I know? Because yellow and white, over here, blue and red, this is where it needs to be, so I just have to go pop. And there it is. So this is fine and these are fine. So I would venture a guess that this is the solved state, where I have a line over here, a line over here, a line over here, and a line over here. So I think, and the creator of this puzzle will have to confirm this for me, is this the solved state? Because that was a neat little way to try to reason my way through this kind of a puzzle. Now, just to be sure, while I still have it fresh in mind, let me scramble it again and see if I can do the same thing and get it back, only faster this time. Okay, so I tried to really scramble it as much as I can. And you can never say that you really know how to solve a puzzle unless you've done it at least twice, because there may be some other parity situations that you didn't anticipate. Okay, so let's try this again. Now that I know what the solved state is, here's a green and red, green and white rather. Here's another green and white. Let's flip this. I know how to do that. Bring this up here, turn it like so, and bring it down. So we like this. All right, let's keep going with the green and whites. Another green and white is here, so I'll move this in, and boom. So this is it. So I can see this coming up over here. Let's finish the green one, which is right here. I want to turn this around. I can move this up here. Well, I can't turn it because this gets in the way. So is there a way to turn this around without affecting anything else? Well, here's what I can try. I can try to do an adjacent edge swap, but just with this. Doing a 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, which will, it should swap two pieces. I have no choice but to swap this. Or rotate, I should say. Not swap, but rotate. I can't just rotate one piece 180 degrees, I have to rotate two. So it's probably going to rotate this, and if I do this as a 2R, it's probably going to rotate one of these guys here too, without affecting anything here, because I can't, well, yeah, I can't move this over here and rotate it, whoops, because of this. Can't lose track of what I'm doing. So let's try this. I guess this will be my R, and this will be my U. So let's try that. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. And it worked. Wow, okay. So yeah, this rotated, and I think this rotated as well. So this rotated 180 degrees, then 1, 2, 3. This rotated 180 degrees. See, I never would have known that with my first solve. So now I have a situation where these guys are all in. It looks like this belongs next to here. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this. I don't know how to do that. It's going to affect one of these, but we don't care about that yet. I'm just kind of filling in these guys. So 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, whoops, can't forget what I'm, 2U. Okay, yeah, so that works really well. So this is all in. So now I'm at that situation. I'm at that situation that I was, where this, and this are in, but I've got these three over here. Maybe they're already in. Nope. So this one, actually the one that belongs here is this one over here. This one. So let's see how we're going to coordinate this. Okay, if I hold it here, this will go to here, which is where I want to move this to here, or at least 180 degrees from it. I want to move this 180 degrees from this. So this will pop up to here, 180 degrees off. This will pop down here, 180 degrees off, and this will be tucked in where it needs to be here. So let me see if I remember that technique. I was here, and I started on the right side, skipping this. So we're going to go down, down, up, up. Okay, I want to swap these two pieces here, boom, then finish it on this side, down, down, up, up, and I'll swap these two back, kersplat. I guess I didn't have to swap it back because now the green and white is here, 180 degrees off. It actually doesn't belong here, you can tell because of this. And this white and, well, oh, no, I miscalculated. This white and green belongs here. This blue, red, and orange belong here. So these are 180 degrees off. This is where it needs to be. And then just go boom. So this is in, and this is in. These have no choice but to be in, and I think they are, but they're rotated. So this didn't happen before. Before it was just solved. You can see how nice and spick and span this looks, and I think this is the solved state. But this has to rotate. Now, if I rotate this, this is also going to rotate, and we don't want that to rotate. What else needs to rotate? This needs to rotate, this does not. So both of these need to rotate. So I do have two. So the parity of the puzzle is not, there's no parity problems. but they're next to each other, so if I can just move this, see, what happens with this is this rotates and this rotates. This has to rotate, but it will never be here. It's only going to be here or here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to rotate this right, and that will rotate this wrong, which means I'll have two next to each other rotated wrong, and then I can reconfigure it to where this is two away from here. This can't just be one away because it's not going to work. I got to get one that's two away, and it'll never be this piece. But I can reconfigure it if I rotate this. This will rotate, and it'll be next to this, which means I could put it here, which is two away from here. And it's got to be two away for both to rotate. So let's see if that works. I'm going to rotate this, which will also rotate this, putting it next to this piece that also needs to rotate. So 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. Okay, as predicted, this is rotated correctly. This, as you can see, is not rotated correctly. And this is also not rotated correctly because this is. And that's what I wanted to do. Now if I hold this up here, I need to move this so that it's either here or here. So this is where I'm going to have to do some deconstruction, because when I do that algorithm, this rotates and this rotates. And if this one had to be rotated, it would never be able to get this position, but this one can. So let's see, I'll move it down to here, and then let's move it across to here. Boom. Okay, I just have to remember to move this back, but this will rotate, and then I'll deconstruct it back. Let's see if it works. A little nervous here. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U. Okay, so as I recall, this one rotated, so I'm going to deconstruct this one back, and then I took this, and this has to rotate back here, and yes, it worked. Wow, that was a lot of fun. Let's just be sure. Green, white, orange, blue, red, and back to green. So notice that the second solve had a lot more going on. The first solve was relatively easy, but the second solve I had to do some flipping, which means I had to see how flipping one affected another, and then I had to do that same technique of putting two 180 degrees off from each other. So there you have it. I am very grateful for the sudden surprise of this puzzle. It's really actually well done. This should be mass produced. I'm wondering about the color scheme. I don't suppose it'll be a good idea to have one color scheme here or here because because you can bisect it and you won't get the same parity type situations, or you won't get the same issues there. So I guess this is the best color scheme to enhance the challenge the most, but this really should be mass produced. It's obviously a very simple puzzle, very simply made, incredibly stable puzzle as well, and really a nice little challenge. So if this ever does become mass produced, hint 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 Calvin, I'll go through a more detailed tutorial, and I ask the builder of this puzzle, is this the right color scheme? And just so you guys know, I love it when that happens, when puzzles are sent to me scrambled and I've got to figure out how to get it back. Anyway, what a bonus, what a surprise, what a special treat to have this acquired in my collection. And for that I thank you, and I say thanks for watching.